Hi, and welcome back to What's Up with Prophecy Today. Today I'm going to bring you a story from China. Listen to this headline. In China, they're closing churches, jailing pastors, and even rewriting scripture. Well, that's the headline in this newspaper article called The Guardian. If you can see it right there, that's The Guardian. And it's an internet paper, I guess. And it was written in January of 2019. So it's not a super current one, but it's pretty current. Let me read you here what this article talks about. It said in late October, the pastor of China's best-known underground church asked this of his congregation. And it's what he asked, had they succeeded in spreading the gospel throughout the city? If tomorrow morning the early rain covenant church suddenly disappeared from the city of Chengdu, if each of us vanished into thin air, would the city be any different? That was his question. Would anyone miss us? Said Wang, and he leaned over his pulpit and he paused to let the questions wait on his audience. And he said, I don't know. Almost 3 months later, Wang's hypothetical scenario is being put to the test. The church in southwest China was shuttered, and Wang and his family remain in detention after police came and arrested more than 100 early rain church members in December. Many of those who had been detained are in hiding. Others are being sent from Chengdu and barred from returning. Some, including Wang's mother and young son, are under close surveillance. Wang and his wife are being charged with inciting subversion, a criminal crime that carries a penalty of up to 15 years in prison. Now the hall where he preached from sits empty, and the pulpit and cross that once hung behind him are both gone. Prayer cushions had been replaced by ping pong tables and film of dust. Now tenants, a construction company and a business association, occupy the 3 floors that the church once rented. And listen to this, plainclothes police stand outside, turning away those looking for the church. And one of the officers told the newspaper here, the Observer, I have to tell you to leave, and I'll watch until you get in the car and go away. Wow. So this is what's happening in China. This article goes on and says early rain is the latest victim of what China Christians and rights activists are calling the worst crackdown since the country's cultural revolution, when Mao vowed to eradicate religion. Researchers say that the current drive, fueled by government unease over the growing number of Christians and their potential links to the West, is aimed not so much as destroying Christianity, but bringing it to heel. In other words, under the heel of the government. The government has orchestrated a campaign to sincize, that's a word they made up, Christianity, to turn Christianity into a fully domesticated religion that would do the bidding of the party. So over the past year, local governments have shut down hundreds of unofficial congregations, or what they call house churches. Now, house churches are gaining popularity also in the United States. And they've shut these down that operate outside the government-approved church network, and including this early rain church. So a statement signed by 500 church leaders in November said authorities have removed the crosses from buildings, forced churches to hang the Chinese flag, and sing patriotic songs. And listen to this, they have barred minors from attending these churches. So just old people are allowed to attend. So they're locking out the youth of China from learning about Christianity. So churchgoers say the situation will get worse as the campaign reaches more of the country. Another church in Chengdu was placed under investigation last week. Less than a week after the mass arrest of early church members, police raided a children's Sunday school at a church in Chengdu. Officials also banned the 1,500-member Zion Church in Beijing after the pastor refused to install what? What did the government want him to install? The government wanted closed-circuit TV installed in his church, and he refused to do that, so they put him in jail. So in November, the Bible Reformed Church was shut for the second time in 3 months, and the Chinese Communist Party wants to be the God of China and the Chinese people. But according to the Bible only, God is God. The government is scared of the churches, says the pastor at the church. So local governments have also shut down state-approved Sanzin churches. I don't know what they are. Sunday schools and youth ministries have also been banned. One of the first signs of a crackdown was when the authorities forcibly removed 1,000 crosses from the Sanzin churches in one of the provinces between the year 2014 and 2016. Well, this is a real sad situation that's going on in China. I'm flipping ahead here to the last part of this story. You know, one of the things that we cherish in the U.S. is our religious freedom and our ability to read the Bible and purchase the Bible. So here's what China is doing regarding Bibles. It says Bibles, sales of which have always been controlled by China, are no longer available for purchase online. That was a loophole that had existed for years. So in December, Christian celebrations are banned in several schools and across China. Well, it's a sad situation in China, and I don't know what we're going to be able to do about it. We need support from our government to put pressure on China to keep the religious freedoms of Christians and other religions also open. You know, in Hebrews 10:25, this is a text I've used a couple times recently. It says, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much more as you see the day approaching. Well, what do they mean by the day approaching? Well, that's the day when Jesus comes back in the clouds of glory, and he comes back for his saints. So that's what our hope is for the soon return of Jesus. Well, I hope you got a little bit of a blessing from this sermon today, and I pray that you will keep your faith and pray that Jesus will come soon. Thanks for watching.
神的话是你说话的原则，平时你们在一起能交通神的话，以神的话为交通的内容，以神的话为交通的内容，看自己怎么认识，怎么认识神话的，怎么实行神话的，神灵是怎么做的？你只要交通神的话，神灵就光照你。要成为神话语的世界，人也得配合。你如果不进入这个，神就没法做。神就没法光照你。 谈神的话，别闲扯，让你的生活之中充满神的话。交通的钱也没事，没有钱就没有神，必须得有个过程。接着你操练，摸着神灵在你身上的光照，怎么吃喝神的话有果效，有果效。摸索一段时间，就进入神话世纪了。摸索一段时间，就进入神话世纪了。你有配合的心智，才能获得生命做工。你有配合的心智，才能获得生命做工。你有配合的心智，才能获得生命做工。